I'm in my kitchen. Tonight I am making a garlic spinach with some chickpeas and potentially some eggs on top. Okay, so let's get into it. You know I'm all about quick meal prep. We just got in, everybody's hungry, and it's always stopping at the grocery store and then what are we gonna cook? Or scavenging through the refrigerator and the cupboards to figure out what we're gonna cook, right? So tonight's is garlic spinach with chickpeas and eggs on top. All right, so I'm gonna start out by adding about a tablespoon of olive oil. I love the Bragg olive oil. There are also other good organic brands like Spectrum Organics. So I always tend to let the skillet get too hot. So you really do just want it on medium heat. So I'm just gonna get the oil all over the bottom of the pan. There's a theme here. It's always onions and garlic to start for me. Lots of anti-inflammatory goodness as I spill the onions on the floor. Here they go in. Garlic going into my garlic press. Who can ever have enough garlic? Not me. Ah, there it goes. And then I just use a knife to kind of scrape it off. And so I'm gonna let the onions saute till they get a little bit clear. All right, I'm gonna take spinach. So I've got Organic Girl, organic spinach. And this will simmer down to almost nothing. So I'm putting the whole thing in. Okay, so at least you know when it ends up looking like nothing, when you've sauteed spinach, that at least you're getting a powerhouse of nutrients, lots and lots of greens. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this in, and then we're gonna add the chickpeas in. And I like to always, which I don't have ready, so I am gonna grab, I like to always have some water nearby because I don't use tons of oil in cooking. Remember, we want fats. They are super hormone and libido friendly, so we want them, but they can add a lot of calories really fast. So if you are cooking light, you just want to keep the portions in check as always. And so I like to keep some water nearby. That way, if the skillet gets too hot and things start to kind of stick to the bottom, you can always add in a little bit of water. These are the garbanzo beans or chickpeas that I'm going to use. Can you see? Eden Organics chickpeas. I love these. We always have them on hand. I'm not going to use the whole can because this is a massive can. So what I'm going to do with half of this can is actually put in a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of garlic, and keep it in a container in the fridge because I put these in the kids' lunches and they like to eat it just like that. Sometimes I'll sprinkle some oregano in it. So as I mentioned, with the spinach, you can see it's starting to cook down to next to nothing, which happens with spinach. But we've got the garlic and onion and a little bit of sea salt, and it smells so good. I wish you could smell it through the camera. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more sea salt. Then I'm gonna put the chickpeas in. Oh, Nathan's home from work. Hi, Nathan. Now I'm gonna take and put in about half the chickpeas that I've got here, because I've got one big can. And you just kind of want to allow all the flavors to meld together. These chickpeas don't necessarily need to soften that much. They've already been soaked and I just rinse them. Sorry, I should have said that. I rinse them, put them in a strainer and rinse them well with water. Now, if your kiddos will not eat the spinach, then hold some of these chickpeas out and like place them on the plate like I mentioned with just a little bit of olive oil and garlic, because I know sometimes the greens are what turn them off. So sometimes we partition things on the plate, and as I mentioned, we craft our meals so that my husband and I may have everything all together and I can make the girls little bits instead of everything all mixed together. However, they're gonna try it like this tonight. And once this is starting to soften a little bit, I'm gonna crack some eggs on top. And then once they're in there, you just kind of, they're in there, they're getting the flavors of all of that onion and garlic and sea salt. And so once these kind of sit in here and start to cook up, I'm gonna flip the eggs, obviously, just to try and make sure that they're not squishy in the middle, because the girls don't like them when they're squishy in the middle. So a couple of these yolks I'm actually gonna pop so that they're just mixed in a bit, so it's not like a fried egg, if you will. Ta-da! So you can see the eggs starting to cook up, and then as mentioned, I'm gonna flip them over. And that's really it. You know, another thing that you can add to this dish to add a little bit of flavor is to add a little bit of like feta cheese to this even. With the spinach is a nice kind of combo. Okay, so I'm gonna flip the eggs in here. And they do kind of mash all together, which is fine. We're not fancy over here. It doesn't always have to look super pretty. It just has to taste good and be able to get put together fast and be a balanced meal. You guys know I'm all about balanced meals, right? So the chickpeas are adding some protein and some fiber, which is good. We're getting lots of greens. We're getting some healthy fats with the olive oil and the egg yolks, right? And yeah, we've got onions and garlic, which are anti-inflammatory, as well as the olive oil. And then you are getting the carbohydrates with your chickpeas, and at least they're slow digesting, higher fiber carbs, which we want. Like 10 minutes to put this meal together, right? And I know it's eggs, but here's the deal. Sometimes we like to complicate life and think that we need to have a fancy meal all the time. Instead, we can choose to make things that cook up more quickly, that make our life easier, and that allow us to feed our families good, healthy, balanced meals without stressing over it, right? We have enough stuff to do, or at least I know I do. So being able to just make it happen some days is the way to go. So this is it, really. Super easy, and then as you can see, ready to go. And I've got a bunch of chickpeas left over that, like I mentioned, I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, garlic, lemon juice, and some oregano to, and then those are gonna go in the girls' lunches. Please feel free to share this. Oh, Waddy wants to say hi. 1 second, come here. For such a baby, say hi. Waddy says hi. He wants to get fed now too, so we gotta go. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of this Monday, and we'll be on again soon. Bye for now.